Hi, Krishna, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Morning.
Haribo.
Hare
Welcome to Krishna Connection, Srimad Bhagavatam reading. Very interesting chapter and canto we are studying right now. And let us begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirannasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So let us take shelter of this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is arising like the sun in this darkness of Kali Yuga. This is giving us guidance and direction on how to think, what to be, and what to avoid. So we can protect our Krishna consciousness, we can protect our life and our purpose. So we left off here. Hearing the melodic chants coming from nearby temples where Brahmanas were beginning their evening rituals, Shukdev Goswami said, the Vedic hymn of the Lord's cerebral passage death and its presiding deity, Yamaraj, who punishes sinners, are Vishnu's jaws. When the yogi remembers the affectionate dealings with his family members, he should think that the art of affection is his set of teeth. The art of affection is his set of teeth. You know, Supreme Personality of God has a perfect set of teeth, like pomegranate seeds. When he feels attracted to the material world, he should understand that this alluring potency of the material energy is the Lord's smile. Indeed, my dear Parikshit, the entire material creation is but Krishna's glance. So, my dear friends, how can we ever say that anything in this life, any path, is not Krishna conscious? Actually, every path, everybody is on the path of Krishna consciousness, but the level of awareness is varying, okay? You know, there is this movie called Madhvacharya. It's a beautiful movie. And in that movie, there's a scene where Madhvacharya is very young with his guru, Madhvacharya and his guru. There's a scene, a coconut, a big, full coconut is shown and asked, what is this? Coconut. And then they break the coconut, and then they show the inside of it. They say, what is this? It's the coconut. And then they take out the pulp inside and say, what is this? It's the coconut. So similarly, every journey, everything we see, everything we hear is actually the path of Krishna consciousness. And everything that reminds us, everything can remind us of Krishna and should remind us of Krishna as devotees. I really like this point, Vishnu's jaws, and then Krishna's set of teeth. See, there are the two similar things, right? Jaws and teeth. They're actually connected, which means the sinners being punished, and then affectionate dealings of the family members. Both are reminding us of the Lord's mouth, the jaw, and the teeth. And then the Maya, the smile of the Lord. Who can resist that? So we don't have to beat ourselves up whenever we slip and fall into illusory attractions. We just remind ourselves like, oh, this is Krishna's smile. See, this is Krishna's smile. Of course, this is the Virat Rupa smile. So we say, Krishna, please, I want Yoga Maya. I don't want Maha Maya. Yoga Maya takes us gives us a kick in the back. Even Maya pushes us to Krishna. Remember that. Maya is always showing us something what we trust. And then she says, here you go. I fooled you again. And then we become so frustrated that we take shelter of Krishna. Our material relationships fail, maybe when we don't get material pleasure in this world, because we were thinking, I'll settle down, I'll find this, and I'll find this joy and happiness. And then when it doesn't happen, Maya gives a kick. When she gives a kick, where do we go? We go towards Krishna only. So this conception is very important to understand, that everybody is on path of Krishna consciousness. It's just like the coconut, just at different levels of awareness, different levels of awareness. Okay, somebody likes to read from here? Everything gross and subtle.
Everything gross and subtle exists on Vishnu's body. For example, modesty is the Lord's upper lip, hankering in his chin, religion in his breast, irreligion in his back. Brahma, the first progenitor in the universe, is empowered by the Lord's genitals. The two gods who govern fertility, Mitra and Varuna, derive their power from Vishnu's testicles. The oceans exist because of the Lord's waist, and the mountains because of his bones. Sukdeva became animated as he spoke, gesticulating gracefully to illustrate his points. Sometimes he looked about at the surrounding sages, and at other times focused intently on Parikshit as he continued describing the Virat Rupa. The rivers are his veins, and trees are his bodily hairs. The all powerful wind is his breath, passing edges are his movements, and the interactions of the modes of nature are his activities. Rain clouds are the Lord's hair, dusk and dawn are his dress, and
I want all of us to meditate on this as we're reading this. Visualize that when you're looking at the mountain, maybe, and you're looking at the sunshine, and you're looking at the sky, and you're looking at the clouds. From now on, you can remember this beautiful Virat Rupa description. In fact, I suggest, okay, I will post this particular text in the group, but I suggest you can make a copy of it, put it on your room, in your wardrobe or something, so you can actually remember these things. See, the rivers are his veins, the trees are his bodily hair, the all-powerful wind is his breath, passing ages are his movements, and the interaction of the modes of nature are his activities. And my favorite is the rain clouds are the Lord's hair, dusk and dawn are his dress. Please continue.
and his intelligence is the supreme cause of the entire material creation. His mind is the moon, the reservoir of all changes. Parikshit listened in fascination as Sukdev described the material energy's complete dependence on Vishnu. Even the very principle of material existence, known as Mahatattva, is the omnipresent Lord's consciousness. The great Lord Shiva is his ego. The smallest details in creation stem from his body. For example, all hoofed creatures like horses, mules, camels, and elephants owe their existence to Vishnu's nails. All other wild animals and four-legged creatures come from his waist. As they spoke, the sun set, and birds began to fly into branches of surrounding trees, their shrill songs attracting Yugdeva's attention.
Beautiful. So, no living entity is insignificant. Every living entity is a part and parcel of Krishna. And every living entity is connected to the Lord. It's like his fingers, There, you cannot say, oh, the pinky finger is less important than the other fingers. They're all important to Krishna. And he's helping everybody to reach him. Okay, Vilas Manjari, would you like to read your comment?
Isn't Virata Rupa for only those who do not believe in Krishna's personal form? Is it not only for impersonalists? Is there need for devotees to remember this imagined Virata Rupa form when we know actual form of Shamasundara with peacock feather, flute, cows, and surrounded by devotees?
It's not, okay, the answer is it's not mutually exclusive. It's not that, I mean, like Savitri Mataji, always, every time she'll see Kadamba tree, she's imagining, all the pastimes of Vrindavan. And every time she's seeing the sky, she's thinking of the clothes of the Lord. The point is, whatever reminds us of Krishna, everything reminds us of Krishna. For a devotee, everything reminds of Krishna. So again, it's like the coconut analogy. The Virat Rupa is a vision held by a devotee only. It's not that it's for a non-devotee. It is a vision. The devotee sees Krishna everywhere, right? Krishna and what's that? The yogi sees the yogi
Right.
see.
Yeah, I understand that point.
Yeah.
Absolute opulence of the absolute. Krishna says, "I'm the taste of water, and I'm the
Right.
strength of the ability in a
Right.
man." So everything that exists, we have that way also of seeing Krishna, right? Um, so I find it Virata Rupa form is somewhat imaginary, and
No,
it
it's
doesn't.
not. He's here.
If I'm not wrong, the whole discussion of Virat Rupa started in order to address the concern of those who do not believe that Krishna is God.
Yes, but yes, that's what I'm saying. It's not mutually exclusive. It's not that it's only for those who don't believe in the personal form of Krishna. It is. It is, because all these things, like we are reading here, these are not imaginary. These are real. When it says that the two gods who govern fertility, Mitra and Varuna, derive their power from Vishnu's testicles, right? It's not false. It's not imaginary. It's true that their ability to create, procreate, comes from Krishna's, I mean, here it speaks about genitals and testicles, right? This is a very private, how do you call it, private part of the Lord. And yet it's connected with the universe that we live in. It's empowered, Brahma is empowered by Lord's genitals. So anyway, my simple answer is, it's not that it's only for those who are not able to embrace the beautiful Shamsundara form. It's the coconut. When you show the pulp, it's one level of understanding. Oh, this is Krishna, the Shama Sundara, standing under the Kadamba tree, playing with the gopis on his flute. But then on its crude form, when you see the coconut with all its brown, rough, harsh texture on the outside, that's also coconut, my dear. So we do not reject that to see Krishna everywhere. Even Purandaradasa and all, they say, it reminds, so many songs they have written about different things that
I'm not declining the
Yeah.
fact that a fact of seeing Krishna everywhere.
Mm.
I just had I needed clarification that is Virata Rupa form necessary for devotee to remember?
The mind.
Because trees are hair, right? That the reason I find it imaginary is like trees are hair of Krishna. They say it. The previous page said, right? And that 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 that's not. I mean, that's not for a devotee. Like imagining Krishna with the hair of trees
Why?
and
Why?
other things, right? I mean, see that is like that has a greatness aspect, right? Like for impersonalist, it feels like he has a difficulty in accepting the form, so that's the way for him to connect. But I don't know, what is it real thing, Virata Rupa form, real
The
Krishna
point
is-
is,
he
the
showed
question is,
Arjuna temporarily in Bhagavad Gita, but
he said,
he doesn't, it's not his eternal. Shamasundara form is eternal form, right? Like Tribhanga form. So
of
that's
course.
that's
The point
that's
is this: why can't we remember Krishna through the Virat Rupa? Why not? That's my question.
it doesn't feel real as a person. I mean, of course, I might be blocked with my own narrow vision of God's form. Yeah.
See, these are levels, okay? These are levels. It's not that Of course, Shyam form is the best. If you can always remember that, great. But even when we look at the sky, we shouldn't just be thinking, no, I only will focus on the deity in my temple room. I don't care about the sky. I don't care about the trees. This is all just, material nature. I don't want it. I only will go. No, a devotee will see the tree. And, the other day I was touching the tamal leaves in my garden. And I was remembering, wow, this is how Krishna's skin feels. And I was keeping going back to the plant to keep touching it. So when you see the birds, when you see the clouds, when you see this is the Krishna consciousness is very joyful. It's very beautiful. It's mindful. So Virat Rupa for me is a mindful way of feeling gratitude towards Krishna. It's a mindful way of a mindful reminder that Krishna is in control. Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is in charge. And also, it's, the point is this, okay? If we want to feel connection to the Lord, we have no reason not to feel connected. And if we want to, what was the other one? Connection was one thing I thought. Mercy, the shelter. See, sometimes we are just walking in the nature and we may not have a deity in our hand or something, right? But we can take shelter of Krishna by looking at the sky and saying, oh, Krishna is so merciful. He's comparing, in his Virat Rupa, the comparison is his dresses are the color of the clouds in the sky. So my question is again, why not? Why not take advantage of the outside of the coconut to scrub the utensils, which traditionally people would do?
I'll tell you my struggle.
Okay.
I love it. Like, as for devotee, like we need excuse to remember Krishna.
Right.
We just don't. I agree. The thing is, I'm trying to form a personality with all that is explained here, like Priya's hair, Kaya's clothes. I'm not able to form. That's my honest.
Beautiful thought there, because devotees always imagining. I know what you're saying. I have also done it. Actually, tonight, Gita Connection, I'll speak about this so beautiful rap about the Virat Rupa. It's so amazing when it speaks about the Virat Rupa there. So I will address this question a little bit more, and I have some Vishnu Sahasranama verses that describe about Virat Rupa, and how we should reorganize our mind. Like, when you see the outside of the coconut, obviously you're not going and licking the outside, the brown side of the coconut, or the green, even the upper one, right? But for somebody who knows, that inside there is the white color malai, very soft, very nice, very sweet. That. So when you're looking at the coconut, the coconut, but obviously it's not for the outside of the.
You're thinking the pulp.
Yeah. So the point is, for a devotee, it's double advantages.
Yeah.
It's a double advantage.
Added, yeah.
It's added. It's an added benefit. Like you were saying, exactly, it's an excuse. When we think of, say, some loved ones, I also think sometimes when I see a specific fruit or a specific biscuit or something, I remember my grandmother, the other grandmother who's no more. She used to like it, and sometimes I buy that and give it to kids because she used to like kids, and I give something to cow, and I'm thinking of her, and I'm thinking, she would like this. And so these are personal forms of connection to the Lord. So my question is, why not see the Virat Rupa also as a shelter that Krishna is giving, also as a connection to the Lord? Why not? That's my question. But yeah, we shouldn't become too perfectionists in visualizing with our mind's eye what Virat Rupa, because you can only see the trees in front of your eyes. You don't see the whole trees of the whole universe, how it appears. If you look at a map, 3D map or something, right? You can actually see how you see the leaves and all, and the trees and all is not as close up view that you see. You actually see the mountains, and then you see the trees of different kinds as beautiful. You can see, if you see Google Maps, you go 3D, okay? See some forests. they actually look so beautiful. So I mean, I'm getting different visuals here, how beautiful the nature can be when you go to some beautiful ocean, your beautiful palm trees and etc. It's very pleasing to the eye. It's very like, it's wow, where does this manifest from? So it's a reminder that, hey, Supreme Lord is the controller. In fact, the Virat Rupa is what you're observing right now. So my simple, very, how do you say, non-philosophical answer is this. But I'm sure I can research more and we can study this further so that we can put our mind to peace. Will I continue reading so that your mind can get to peace? You can start from here. The rivers are his veins.
The rivers are his veins, and trees are his bodily hairs. The all-powerful wind is his breath. Passing ages are his movements, and the infractions of the modes of nature are his activities. Rain clouds are the Lord's hair.
Also, one thing I wanted to say in response to your question is also, we can get a little bit, we take things for granted sometimes. Yeah, Krishna is the supreme. Yeah, he's in control. Yeah, everything is connected to him. But this is a very specific meditation to see every rivers and the veins and the breath and the wind and the clouds and the dusk and the dawn, and to look at the elements of this universe and to actually see how every little detail is connected to the Lord through the scriptures. So it's a very mindful concentration, meditation way. I mean, for an artist, right? Like Sudeshna here, we have Sudeshna. I'm sure she's always dressed beautifully. She's always like connected to, loves Jagannath. And I see her like, she has an ability to see everything in that artistic way. Even the birds, birds in the sky is the artistic sense of the Lord. So every time I'm looking at birds, I'm thinking of that. Every time. Otherwise, I'm looking at these birds in my garden. There are two birds of different kinds who have put nest and they have babies there. One has an egg and the other has a baby. And every day I'm going and looking in Parijata tree, this little bird, and I'm thinking, this is the artistic sense of the Lord. And the other day I saw the father bird. The father bird flew in, and the mother bird went to get food, and the father bird sat on the eggs. And I was just so touched, And then the mother bird flew away and she got some worms. I don't know what she got. She came back, and then the father bird flew away, and then the mother bird came back and sat there. So I was just amazed of, oh my God. And then living in Mayapur, there are more than 108 varieties of birds that come during the winter here this side, because we are on this Jalangi river, which is called Purvastali. It's a bird sanctuary. A lot of people all over the world come here to bird watching. And whenever I'm looking at these amazing birds, flocks of birds flying in together, and the way they are sounding, the way they're so beautiful, so many kinds of varieties of birds. And I'm just meditating on what it means, creative sense of the Lord. Oh my God, this is a creative, like it's like a mystery. Okay, Vilas Manjari, this was the word I wanted to tell you. When you look at nature and you're trying to figure out what all this means in Virat Rupa, is a mystery. It's not like something black and white and, okay, here, this is the spoon. It looks flat from this side and it looks, indented this side, and the other side is bulging. This is the spoon. It's not like self-defined, boring definition. It's a mystery. What does it mean that the Virat form of the Lord? It's a mystery. It's given to your creative, every person can feel differently. Even now, you see, there's this bird sitting in my balcony right now and chirping. It's so cute. It is small little bird. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's like, I used to ask, what is the purpose of these birds? What is the purpose of their life? I used to ask. And then the best answer I ever got was, these birds are representation of the creative aspect of the Lord. I mean, in the Virat Rupa, of course. So yeah, I like that mystery aspect. So keep wondering. That's what I would say. You are lucky that you're wondering, because the wonder is the point of Virat Rupa. The sage and the saint will look at the everything and say, wonder. They will wonder. This is the veins of the Lord. The rivers. Wow, wow. The trees are the hair. Like, there's a mystery there. What does it mean? My eyes cannot see the way that it's described. So what does it actually mean? So it's a mystery. Thank you. Okay, please continue, Vilas Manjari. Oh, I have not moved. Sorry. Yeah.
His intelligence is the supreme cause of the entire material creation. His mind is the moon, the reservoir of all changes. Parikshit listened in fascination as Sukadeva described the material energy's complete dependence on Vishnu.
You see, that's another point. That's another point. Why should we even consider studying about Virat Rupa or thing? Because it reminds us of how the material energy is completely dependent on the Lord in a very personal way. Beautiful. Please continue.
Even the very principle of material existence, known as Mahat Tattva, is the omnipresent Lord's consciousness.
Wow.
Wow. The great God Shiva is his ego. The smallest details in creation stem from his body.
Mm.
For example, all hoofed creatures like horses, mules, camels, and elephants owe their existence to Vishnu's nails. All other wild animals and four-legged creatures come from his waist.
Based.
As they spoke, the sunset and birds began to fly into the branches of surrounding trees, their thrill songs attracting Sukadeva's attention.
That's also interesting. The Shukadeva Goswami, imagine, no, Shukadeva Goswami, this great saint that all the sages finally agreed to his authority. He's looking at these birds flying into the branches and singing songs. And he's thinking, I'm sure he's thinking, see, that's the creative, that's the creative side of the Lord. What does it mean, attracted, right? We are attracted to Krishna's mysterious ways of working in nature. What to speak of him working mysteriously on our life, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Please continue.
Pointing in their direction, he said, the wondrous variety of birds are a mere indication of the Lord's masterful artistic sense.
Yes.
Here you go, Shreya. His heart filled with wonderment, Parikshit asked, what aspect of the Virata Rupa corresponds to humans? Shukadeva said, Manu, the father of mankind, symbolizes Krishna's power of discrimination, and humanity is the Lord's residence.
Wow.
As a king, Parikshit was familiar with the Manu Samhita, the instructions given by Manu, meant to govern human conduct. Parikshit had always referred to that treatise when administering justice. He could therefore understand how Manu was Vishnu's discriminatory power. However, he was unsure why humanity was the Lord's residence. He asked the sage, who replied, this is because the human body is not meant for bestial pleasures, but to attain God realization and associate with him. Parikshit inquired, please tell me which part of the Lord's universal body produces humans? Shukadeva first spoke about the celestial human races. The Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, and Apsaras are manifestations of the Lord's musical sense, and the Asuras are his mighty prowess in fighting. What of the earthly humans? Brahmanas come from the Virata Rupa's face. Kshatriyas are born from his arms, Vaishyas from his thighs, and Shudras from his soles. As well as humans, all the gods are included in the Virata Rupa's body. Shukadeva paused and looked around the assembly of sages. O saintly ones, since The entire cosmos comes from Vishnu's body and is subsequently sustained by him. It is the duty of human society to utilize everything to propagate his glories. Such sacrifice will bring about peace and happiness for everyone. The sages listened appreciatively as Shukadeva continued. As you asked, O king, I have now explained in detail this universal conception of the Supreme Lord. The yogi who desires liberation from material bondage should fix his mind on this form. Thus, he will gradually realize that everything in existence is a manifestation of Vishnu. Turning once again to the assembled sages, he added, Vishnu's spiritual body is the source of creation. By meditating on his personal form, the yogi experiences transcendental bliss, which protects him from falling prey to material allurements. However, if the yogi diverts his concentration from the Lord, there is every possibility that he'll again become degraded.
Can you read that last sentence again? However,
However,
by meditating, read that sentence from
by
there.
meditating on his personal form, the yogi experiences transcendental bliss, which protects him from falling prey to material allurements. However, if the yogi diverts his concentration from the Lord, there is every possibility that he'll again become degraded.
Wow, you see, that's another merciful way that Krishna is protecting the yogis from fall down by this Virat Rupa, by connecting, the whole thing. See, everything is scientific, everything has its reasons. It's just that our human mind is limited. So we may not see. And I was thinking of the cruise ship ride, Vilas Manjari. I was thinking like when you're going on a cruise ship and you're seeing things, you can either have a very narrow-minded approach. Oh, these people are not devotees, or these things are, what is all this Maya and this and that. Or when we have a very broad understanding, if we think like Krishna, right? Devotees think like the Lord. In fact, they are more merciful than the Lord. So if we start thinking, and we're seeing every possibility. Oh, this thing is, oh, look at this beautiful ocean. Everybody's attracted. You see, this is the veins of the Lord, and then you're looking at something else and you're thinking, oh, they're liking the taste of the juice or something. You're thinking, that taste is Krishna. If only these people could know. So I'm saying that a yogi has knowledge to look at everything from that Krishna conscious angle. And if we want to see good in people, we can always find good in people. So that's the nature, because that's Krishna's nature. I'm seeing all these birds around chirping.
Artistic sense of.
Yeah, artistic sense of the Lord. It's like, it was saving grace for me. For a couple of years, I used to wonder, when Mayapur, I would go on the roof and chant. I would think of, before this understanding, I used to think, what a wasteful life. Look at these birds just flying meaninglessly, purposelessly. They're in the sky, going up and going down and going. What's the point? I used to think, And then the best answer I got was, this artist is sent. And then I'm like, wow. When you look at an artist, you can't ask this kind of analytical, logical question. It's a mystery. You look at a painting worth, I don't know, millions of dollars sometimes, and it's just splashing of colors, abstract art. It has so much value. So what to speak of Virat Rupa? How much it can remind us of Krishna's merciful way, and then also the dependence. I like that.
It has value because it's Krishna's artistic sense.
Exactly.
Which not everyone can recognize.
Yeah.
But artists can.
Exactly. Artists can. I was like thinking, what is the point? What is the point? What is the point? Yeah, it's nice to see them 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, right? But then you keep watching them years after years and years, and they just have it feels like they have no life, the same thing they're doing over and over again. What is this thing? But then when you actually look at it from the Krishna conscious perspective, everything falls in place. And then I started looking at it from a different angle. I had different eyes, The Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. I had the eyes of knowledge to look at it from a different angle, from a different perspective. So, what's the lesson in this? The lesson is, if the whole material creation is the Virat Rupa form of the Lord, and his mind, his ego, his intelligence is all very much connected with the nature surrounding us, which also means, by the way, astrological planets and everything. So our karma, things that we are going through in life, is very much dependent on the Lord and controlled by the Lord. And we have nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. Everything gross and subtle is completely dependent on the Lord. And we must have faith that Krishna has a plan for me. Yesterday also in Chaitanya Charitamrita class with Savitri Mataji, we were reading about this. And then we were discussing about this. That Krishna has a plan for you. This comes when Haridas Thakur, because he's a Muslim, he's not allowed inside Jagannath temple, right? And Mahaprabhu is leaving and he's going to Puri. And so there's this beautiful verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 3rd chapter, we're studying. And then it comes about Mahaprabhu saying, I can actually read that verse for you. It's right here. Let me open that. It's so beautiful. And this Bengali is just amazing. I have it right here. And that just completely touched me, the mood of Mahaprabhu, the mood of Krishna about his devotees. And then we were concluding how Krishna has a plan for all of us. Okay, here it comes. And Savitri Mataji's Bengali is like, seamless. It's like perfect. So she sings it, all these verses. Okay, I'm coming. Share screen. Okay, these verses here. Okay, this is Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is saying, this is the third chapter of Madhya Leela. Tomalagi Jagannathe Karibeni Vedana Tomalaya. I can't read the pronunciations properly. Maybe some Bengali can read it. Can somebody read it? Khushbu or Sudeshna?
I'm reading it. Toma lagi Jagannathe koriba nivedana, toma lana yaba ami Shri Purushottama.
Aha, can you read it again twice more?
Toma lagi Jagannathe koriba nivedana, toma lana yaba ami Shri Purushottama.
Toma lagi Jagannathe karibe nivedana. Toma lana yabami Shri Purushottama. So what does Mahaprabhu say? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu assured Haridas Thakur he would place a petition before Lord Jagannath and that he would certainly take him there to Jagannath Puri. See, because the Lord is already planning. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. So this point brought us to how Krishna is always planning for us. We are thinking, no, but this is not going to work out. That is happening. And we're seeing all the material obstacles, right? And then he's saying, I will personally make a petition before Lord Jagannath. Oh, it's so sweet. This is so sweet. So please cast away any doubts, because doubts are never helpful in our spiritual life. So we should cast away all doubts. And one assurance is that Mahaprabhu is there for us. I mean, in this 2nd chapter and 3rd chapter, many beautiful points come here about how Mahaprabhu, at one point he says, whoever makes nice meals like this, because Advaita Acharya had prepared this amazing feast, he says, whoever prepares feast like this for Krishna, I will personally take their lotus feet and put on my head, Mahaprabhu says. And so many things. And then he listens to Advaita Acharya and he stays back 3 more days, It's so beautiful. So always remember this, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a plan for you. Gaurai Chet Jayatu Jayatu means may Gauranga Mahaprabhu's will prevail, because our identity is what? Chaitanya Radha Samui, Chaitanya Radhas, Chaitanya Radhas Samuita, Radhas Radhas. So we are servants of eternal servants of Lord Chaitanya. We have nothing to fear about what's going to happen to me. We are in his care and he has a plan. Okay. Any questions, any comments, any realizations? Any affirmations?
Heart-touching discussion. Very nice. Thank you.
I mean, after that, you can read, if you're interested, you can read that third chapter, 193 onwards, you can read those verses. And there are purports also to some. Okay, so we can end here. Yeah, Mahaprabhu, now when we think, oh, one thing, remember? When anything difficult becomes easy by just remembering Mahaprabhu. And even the most easiest things can become difficult if we forget Mahaprabhu. That is our meditation. For us is Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, Chaitanya. Think of him and even the impossible becomes possible. But then we forget Mahaprabhu and then even the easiest thing becomes very difficult. So go right, Chet Jayatu Jayatu. So please take care of yourselves. Keep giving positive affirmations. This is the homework for all of you. Whenever you're looking at anything, you say, wow, the Lord is so merciful today. He's taking care of me through the sunshine, through this moonshine, through this beautiful winds. Every time you feel the wind, you can imagine the Lord breathing. Beautiful. So take care of yourselves. Tell yourselves beautiful things about how much Krishna loves you, because he does. And see you tomorrow. See you today evening for Gita Connection for those of you in India. And see you tomorrow for those of you in America. And I'm so grateful for this Sangha. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.